crash of 1982 was absolutely abysmal quality testing, to the point where quality testing wasn't even a word you uttered anymore. And I don't think there will be a crash of the video game industry like we saw in 1982, because back in 1982 there were the arcades, then there was Atari, then there were some computer games, and Atari completely fucked it up. And for 3 years, our video games just apparently just barely existed. But that was a major crash. But I think there will be a mass restructuring here very soon, and I think we're on the cusp of the mass restructuring. And allow me to clarify what I mean by mass restructuring. The shit that Ubisoft, the shit that EA with games like, are you familiar with Dungeon Keeper Mobile? Are you familiar with Need for Speed No Limit?
The one where you have to actually
pay for gas. Yes. Are you? You're aware of the bullshit with Destiny, how it was promised to be the next second coming of video games when it comes to MMOs on video games, and then you buy it, you play it, you're like, this is okay. So here's what I'm talking about with the restructuring. There will be a point, and we are at that point, where consumers will just say, no, pre-order culture is going to die. 2016, I call it right now, 2016 at the latest, pre-order culture dies. And I'm saying that because it's getting to the point where people are getting burned. Like, seriously.
Somebody out there knows who I'm talking to who pre-ordered something and they shouldn't have, and it may work out for them, but they know better. Anyway, continue.
The only things I pre-order anymore are strictly from Nintendo. It's strictly because I believe it might sell out before I get a chance to get it. And the only reason is because Nintendo has not let me down on a, oh, damn it, I just remembered Metroid Other M. Damn it!
I mean, I wasn't gonna go there, Stan, because
I pre-ordered the shit out of that game. You know what? I take it all back.
I didn't.
I got it. I got it the day it came out. I beat it in 8 hours. I called Josh. I said, "The fuck was that?"
I was sobbing weekly while he called me. And
I don't know. But I don't know. So video games aren't going to disappear because the indie scene for video games is too strong. The developer sans publisher scene is getting stronger by each day that goes by. Publishers, the publishers that come out and just release crappy products or force a developer to release a crappy product with either little support or backing of the product, or they force a strict deadline to a product and then they just, you know, shine up a turd and push it out. Gearbox with Colonial Marines, Ubisoft in the last couple games. I mean, I want Far Cry 4, but I hear it's exactly like Far Cry 3, and that actually really causes a little bit of disappointment on my end. Destiny apparently not being what it should be.
But from what I've heard about Fallout, real side tangent.
From
what I hear about Fallout, Far Cry 4 is that, give me Fallout 4. Far Cry 4 is that it takes all the good stuff about Far Cry 3, makes it better, takes all the bad stuff about Far Cry 3, throws it away, but yeah, that's just what I've
Speaking from ignorance, I've only played, I beat Far Cry 3 100%, but I haven't touched Far Cry 4 yet. Pending, I'll get to it when I get to it. My back catalog's a little full and I'm working my way through that. But it's gonna get to the point where publishers are either gonna say, oh crap, people have stopped buying our games because we're not innovating. Like the DICE Awards just recently came out, and apparently the lead developer for Sledgehammer Games, the lead developer for Sledgehammer Games, the company this year that released Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, he was really disappointed and actually hurt that they did not win Action Game of the Year, and I don't know how he's surprised.
But it's a little surprising because I will say, from what I have seen, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is one of the most, I'm not going to use advanced, but it is the farthest reach from the Call of Duty mold that's happened in a while. I feel like it is the game with the most amount of differentiation from the Call of Duty series in the past 8 years.
I mean, so they added jetpacks and they made it slightly more futuristic. That's not enough for me to pick it up.
But the thing is, it is a step in the console-based shooter getting to the point where the arena-based shooters of PCs used to be with the movement and the way things happen. Because shooters back in the day used to be really fast-paced because of the keyboard, mouse, and the computer. But when they came to consoles, they had to slow way down because of the controller. But they're getting there.
I reject what you just said.
Okay.
I reject it because I remember the Halo days, and Halo is a very fast game.
Listeners, I'm giving Stan a face right now.
Halo 1, Halo is a fast game. Is it as fast as, you know what? I like a game, and I'm talking about Halo with shields on. And I like a game where if I take a couple bullet hits, I can still keep chugging. I don't like Call of Duty where the first person that sees the other person wins. You know what I mean? I don't like that.
No, that's Day of Defeat.
I'm sorry. Day of Defeat has something going on.
Call of Duty, you have a chance to fight back. Day of Defeat, if somebody shoots
no, you don't.
Game over, one hit.
Day of Defeat has something going on though. It's supposed to be on realistic World War II shooting game. There's tactics involved. In Call of Duty, you can't have tactics. You run around the map with the fastest firing gun you could possibly have, also with a decent accuracy, and you just run around killing.
I think Call of Duty is faster than Halo.
It is faster than Halo. I'm not gonna argue that.
You just said
I said Halo is fast. Is what I said. I said Halo.
Console shooters are painfully slow.
Compared to what?
Things like Quake Live, Quake.
I mean, if you're just gonna say Quake 3 times.
Quake, Doom, Counter-Strike, all of it, anything on the PC.
I mean, you've named a total of 3 games, and you said I'm not gonna. Moving on. so
anyway,
what I'm getting at is that it took E.T. the game to come out to crash the console industry. We will not have a magnus opus game that will completely crash the video game industry as we know it, because it has gotten too big to be crashed by one or just a couple games. Because the video game industry lives in a lot of things. It lives on our computer, it lives on our cell phones, our iPads, not just on the consoles anymore. There's not an arcade scene per se, but there are still Dave and Buster's. There is still, a drive towards going and hanging out and having fun. So with an arcade type game. So I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Like, for every shit game that EA dumps in the toilet, Nintendo, at the very minimum, comes out with a solid game that will stand the test of time. So, no. Even Nintendo makes a shitload of mistakes, but for every console, piece of hardware mistake that Nintendo makes, Sony picks up the baton and it carries it to the finish line with a solidly built piece of hardware. So there's competition out there. I don't think the video game industry is going to crash anytime soon. I just think there'll be a gigantic restructuring that'll cause the bullshit to finally die. And we are on the precipice of that. You think 2014 was a bad year for games? They've got plenty of time in 2015 to really fuck things up. So let them. I say let it happen. Let it happen.
And
watch some brands die.
I would not hate that. Hey, who knows where it'll go in the edit? So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, this has been Stan
and Josh
of Unscripted Gaming. Thank you very much for paying attention to us. I don't know why you did, and we'll see you next time.